okay. Yeah, he's alright, yeah. So,
he was back in hospital again.
He is, he's still up there.
Yeah. He was home the sun was setting.
Yeah.
He was home for a couple of days.
Yeah, he's gone back up.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to roll. So we'll start the official bit here. Hope to God, now I'm paranoid about machinery in case it wouldn't be working, but I think we're okay.
You have a red light on more here.
I have.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, we look right. We look like we're working, hopefully. And I can put on this fella as well, just to make sure. So I'll just start the official bit, and then we'll
the Dorans, when I lived in the Barrack Road, they used to sell the fish.
Did they? Dorans?
Yeah, 60 years ago, we'd go down on a Friday, and my mum would have 5 shillings, and you could get anything, flounders, fluke, eels, trout, anything.
My God. Where was that again, Michael?
Down the Barrack Road.
Barrack Road.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I'll just introduce us and then we'll continue. So this is Michael Fitzgerald from Clorina, of Clorina, formerly Barrack Road.
That's what it is.
And we're talking to him about the whole Shannon reed cutting and fishing. And this is Maura Cronin and Ruth Gyrey. And I think we can go back to what you were saying now about the Dorans, Michael.
Dorans used to sell the fish. They'd fish the Fergus.
Yeah.
And they'd bring the fish in, everything was done by hand, there was no outboard engines at that time. Yeah. And they'd come up in a pony and sell the fish, house to house. They'd come here to Tarina, cooked all over. And all varieties of fish. They had a big variety of fish. And there was another fisherman then, the Jack Thunder Fitz. They had at least all the lighthouses in Ringmylan and Ballydood, all the way over. And one day he had 3 children, and the son was handing up to Dad the oil for the lighthouse, and the child slipped in, and then instantly came down after handing up to his dad the oil. But they used to fish down the Fergus River and down to Labashida, and they'd come back up, and they'd bring turf with them, and they'd bring it to Currans, and there was a swing bridge in Currans. They'd take out the turf off there at Currans. Yeah. And there was a weighbridge in Currans where Mrs. Curran used to have her car. And they'd weigh the turf there, then you wanted a ton of turf or half ton of turf. And then that boat would go up then with flour and meal up to the man on the there. And Kelly was the man who used to walk the winch. So he'd open the bridge, let you up, and he'd close it then. And people coming from town then would pay so much for a toll bridge there at the ferry bridge. There was great history there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how far, would that be a long time ago, Michael?
My dad remembers as well, this be 80 or 90 years ago. Yeah, they lived solely after water. And in Newtown, the fishermen, 60 years ago, they left the swimming factory to go fishing permanently in Cotton Reed. There was so much money on the water at the time. Yeah.
So fellas who would be working in the factory actually...
Yeah, they all fished. We all fished as youngsters, because pocket money for us, like.
Right.
Yeah, so it was nice.
Okay. And where would you fish now when you were small?
Down in Newtown. Okay. Yeah.
Whereabouts, like, I wouldn't know it that well now. So.
You'd go down through Carrie O'Brien's, right into the boat right there on Carrie O'Brien's. There were 2, one was for shore fishing, and the other one was for net fishing on the water, like, when you'd walked along the mud with one leg,
Yeah.
And the boat was outside and you bring it in. The other one you were outside in the estuary fishing.
Gotcha. And
Coona, you'd be looking across at Coona there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not lovely there.
And how did you get involved, Michael?
Pardon?
How did you get involved?
I just met the local people I went to school with here, and they'd come down, you go down as a young fella, you clean out the boat, and you've been apprenticed now. They'd show you what to do, how to pull the boat, and make up the nets and that.
Okay.
But they were very helpful, the old people,
Yeah.
And the farmers were great as well, to let you in across, the
fields.
Yeah, great. And it was a few pounds for us.
Yeah.
And you get a fish to bring home as well then. So it was nice.
Mum would be delighted. And was your dad involved?
No, my dad, no. He worked in the swimming factory with Tommy Cliff, like,
Yeah. So you just got involved by
being
going down and
working with the locals. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And what exactly did you do, Michael?
I'd walk the mud and I'd pull the boat as well, like head boat. Yeah.
What kind of a boat was it, Michael?
Again, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it was standard boat, like, you know. They made their own boats and repaired their own boats. Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
And what did you have to wear?
Oh, nothing. You'd go barefooted or weltons.
Would you?
Waders or you would just take off your shoes. Like, you walk. The mud was soft, like, you know.
Okay.
You'd walk along the brow of it. And you had a pole in, like a timber pole. So you stopped in and they came in around in a circle and you caught the fish that way, didn't they?
Okay.
Well, you brought the fish into the boat when you were walking on the boat, like, you know.
Okay.
You hauled in the net. It was lovely, like.
Right. So, like you, is somebody coming? Is there?
That's
yeah.
Richard.
That's grand. You can join the fun. And,
Good evening.
so do you want to? Is
Will
he
I
okay?
open the
Can he
door,
get
will
in? No, he's coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
He's grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so long as he was here, he can't open it.
Oh, hello. How are you?
How you giving?
We're fine. We're hearing about fishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you want to join the conversation.
How you giving?
How are you?
I don't know.
Good.
Oh yeah, we're getting the lowdown on fishing over at Newtown and all
lovely.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Picking his brain a bit.
You know it all anyway.
I'm telling you now, yeah. So we were just hearing about when Michael was a young fella and going out helping the fellas doing the fishing and that. You know.
Lovely.
Yeah. So.
Judy.
Hello, Judy.
Judy.
Hello, sweetie. Oh, it is exciting.
Hello, how are you? How are you?
Hello, how are you? Hi, Jude. She's gorgeous. We're in on top of you, I'm afraid.
Oh, you're grand. I need to chat with you.
Yeah.
We won't ignore us as much as you can anyway. We won't be that long. Yeah. We're grand. But you go back to you were saying you'd have a small stick. No, we're grand. Thanks very much.
I know this one says.
You do, because you waved to me in the car when I'm walking the dog. Yeah.
What about this girl? Is this?
This is Ruth.
Yeah,
She reminds you of Mrs. Cliff, no?
Yeah.
Are you related to Ali?
I'm with my granny. Yeah.
And which star? Which?
Anne's daughter.
Oh Jesus, I'm not
Mum is
saying
the oldest of Ireland's.
Your mother.
Yeah.
So I know her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you?
She's
Yeah.
which Irish? She's living back in
We're not Knockadurry, so.
Knockadurry. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So she mum is always with Nana.
Always.
Yeah, I know she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many parents even up for a while, Ali?
Yeah. No, she's good. She's
Is
great.
she?
Yeah.
Because the last time I
can't see
saw her
her.
was over. Michael calls her right, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last time I met him, I was over in the post office, and your mum was with her.
Mum, yeah.
Very like your mother now.
Am I? Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think it was a compliment. Yeah. So yeah, my mum is always looking after her. She's very
Yeah,
good.
she's very good to her.
She is.
And I told me that herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mum would be the eldest, and then the 4 boys, and then the girls after that. Yeah.
Your mother would be the eldest,
Mm.
that's right. And you have an aunt, an air hostess, and
Not anymore.
Audrey.
Is she not?
I think I was wondering if you can Audrey Ripley. No, not anymore.
she used to have Heathrow
We met
Airport
her.
now in Heathrow Airport.
That was it then.
Everything was
She wasn't married, she's not married at all, that girl, but at that time she wasn't married anyway.
No.
But I was looking for I smoked then, you see, and I was looking for a place to,
To puff.
So, yeah.
well, you want to see where she took me? I said I'll come back up again with you, I said, because I'll definitely be in Ireland by the time I get back home. So I didn't put any.
Yeah.
Many months ago now.
No.
Is she not a air hostess anymore?
No, none of them are.
Have they not?
So Audrey is teaching special needs teacher.
Oh, nice.
And everything is a sharpest in England.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, well, in Edinburgh, sorry.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
But,
I thought I was seeing things
Audrey's
that
in
morning in
Balneasy,
Detroit. Jesus, that's funny, yeah.
Audrey's in Balneasy.
No, they're not from Balneasy.
Oh, they're not there.
There.
They're there, that's right, yeah, because I done a bit of work outside in Balneasy for.
Did you?
I did,
Very good.
yeah.
So you know Andrew and everything.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the girl who's over the main road, yeah?
Yeah, starting off over.
I know.
And then I done a bit of work.
Sorry now about this.
You're grand. It's your house. It's
Oh,
your
Jesus.
house. That's what I was.
Small world, though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
small world.
Small world now.
Really is.
Yeah. You like your mum when you see her, when you look at you now.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
funny, isn't it?
No, I do a bit of cutting too.
Are you sure you don't want
We're
to
grand.
drink milk now?
We're
Yes.
grand. We'll be literally about a half an hour, and we might descend on you again, Michael. Though you know.
Right, so then,
You're
All right.
on base.
Thanks a million.
Cut.
Home after if you're going
He said-
I just have to do my own on, so I have.
Oh, lovely. No escape.
Yeah.
No escape at all. But,
That's what we were saying.
oh yeah, no, we were just saying to you there, Michael, you were saying about the stick, but you'd have a stick and you'd pull in the fish. Explain that a bit more now.
It was a pole that had it in,
Yeah.
and you'd have a rope off of it.
Yeah,
So you'd pull back the pole and you'd catch the rope in.
yeah.
You know, and that was your net was suspended that. There was lead in the bottom
Okay,
and the top was timber.
Okay.
So the lead kept it afloat, kept it down.
get you.
You did have your depth gauge to keep the lid down in the mud, like, you know.
Okay. And what kind of fish were you catching?
Salmon,
Salmon.
pale,
Okay.
young salmon would be pale, trout.
Okay.
You get flounders, fluke, you get a lot of fluke in it, flatfish. Yeah.
Somebody was asking us now, and I wouldn't have a clue myself, but she was doing some study about fish, and she was saying to us to ask people if they ever met a thing called a pollen. No, not a pollock, a pollen, Pollan.
Yeah, they're there.
You did
Yeah.
meet them, did you?
Yeah.
What were they different?
So yeah, you'd get them out, way out.
Okay,
Yeah, if we were down on the Fergus River,
okay,
and down Labashida and that place like that, yeah.
okay. And were they different to
So, well,
salmon?
yeah, and different flavour and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Salmon is rich, like. It's an expensive dish, you know, £7 a pound. Like,
Is it? Yeah.
yeah. Well, we say the licence is gone here, but well, we have a holiday home now in Ballybunna, and we're going down into Ballyhigh and the Cashin River, and people are waiting there for the boats to come in. But they do different in the Cashin River because we say you'd have 3 men on the shore, and when the boat would come in, the 3 men would catch the net, and they'll bring it in, they all help out. Next boat that goes in, they help as well, they work as a team.
Gotcha.
So here you do your own thing here, like. There'll be 3 in the boat.
Okay.
There'll be one fella pulling and 2 maybe, 1 on the shore, you know.
Okay.
So they work as a team and carry like it.
Getcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Did you fish the whole time, Michael? Like, when did you start in
I
the
fished
morning?
when I was a child, young fellas,
Yeah.
I did already. Fish for years.
But was it like, had you certain weeks or months or?
Oh, you had, yes, you had your season, like. And we'll say when you were a youngster, you were inside the boat, just cleaning up the boat. You know, yourself obviously going on then, you got wise, you know.
Yeah.
But the Dorans now, they'd fished all the Fergus, they'd pull the boat down for miles. And it was hard work, like, you know, the farms and truth ones.
Yeah.
But they lived, they never signed on to doing it, and they fished off the water all the time. And when they closed the Valley Road, they put another boat there for the fishermen, another road in my Mansell's. That's what I was going to show you now, there's another road in there.
Okay.
And that was for the people of the Valley Road, which is like myself.
Yeah.
We were the last house on the Valley Road on the left,
Getcha.
and Barry's were on the right, the champion jockey, Ron Barry. And in Scots, they had a house down there and they got flooded and they moved to Kilkee. Scots did, and I met Mrs. Scott. I done a video, the Balloch Road, I called it Last of the Balloch Road. And they let me into the cement factory, into the quarry, and we took a photograph of the quarry, a video of the quarry, like, and the blast. And down to Scott's, but I went into Scott's restaurant in Kilkee. And I said to Mrs. Scott, I said, you were a neighbour of ours one time. She was an old lady, and we had a lovely chat with her.
Yeah.
But it was very popular, that family Balloch Road was like, you know.
And was there a lot of people living down there?
Oh God, there was big families there. Actually, I'm in the Historic Society in Mungret, and there was a lady doing research on Mungret there last week, and it was beautiful. I asked her, could I get a copy of it, but we went back to a market in Mungret 300 years ago, and the first thing on the market was all goat and cow and cattle and horses, hides, skins. That was the first, all skins. And the second name was all eels, big bats of eels.
Oh God.
And the next was all salmon.
Carlos is in there, you want to say yours now.
Salmon was next. And then they had hay. And this man was in between the shafts of a smart little donkey's car. And there was a wine of hay above it, and his wife was pushing it. And they'd come to the Balloch Road and they'd buy the fish and stuff and by boat and take it out to Mungret then.
Gotcha.
There was several history there in Mungret.
My God.
We were there a few weeks ago and they had a gold find in Mungret, and they had one in Ballydool where they got the nuggets of gold. they bring the gold in and they cut it into little bars and they'll buy the land with it. Came from England, like, you know.
Okay.
They started, have you ever been up at any of the meetings
Don't
in Mungo
think
College?
so. No.
Yeah,
no,
they'd
no.
be nice now. The wires.
Okay.
Oh yes,
Surely the
yes,
wire.
yes, that's right.
They, and Nesson Dunno and
Oh,
Kevin.
Nesson, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
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 They'd be very much involved in
That's
it.
right, yeah.
It's lovely now, you have,
Yeah.
you have it there of a Tuesday night, an hour,
Yeah.
and there'd be a teacher there, like,
Sure, yeah.
and give you the video, but stop it and explain everything, and then all the local people ask questions, you know, about Mungos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a lovely life, you know.
But it was a big, like the Barrack Road, like it's only so long now, isn't it? It's
Oh,
cut
that's
off,
all.
yeah.
Well, that was part of the Ballyclare Road was the main road to Limerick.
Right.
When you come, we'll say, out of the ferry bridge, this was all the, up here, this was all the old road, over to Horrigan's. One little house, the whitewash house in Horrigan's,
Yeah.
Yes.
the end of the road. Well, there's a galvanised gate down where Patsy Gavin all them go up, walking their dogs in Horrigan's. Well, right down at the bottom of that end was Boland's Cross, where Davy Hickey's houses. That was the main road, even across Boland's Cross. And it turned into your right, and Jack McGann was the barracks there, in the Barrack Road here, a bicycle repairman. He just died a few weeks ago, he was 94.
Great age.
And to come out his gate in the main road, and up the Barrack Road, that was the main road from Limerick, over 100 years ago. And there was no road into that road, with all fields.
Right.
And to cross Rita Shanahan's pub,
Yeah.
and turn it over the Raheen into Limerick.
Ah, getcha.
So it was a popular road, the Barrack. It was a barracks there and the main road as well.
And so the people around Mungard now say, so when you were 18,
That's right,
doing the
yes.
thing, yeah. I know that the cement was a big employer, but
Oh,
would a
yes.
lot of them have fished then?
Oh, it would, yeah.
Would they?
Would have all
Yeah,
fished,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There were 700 people employed in the cement
yeah.
that time. At our house now in the cement factory, my dad used to be working the well drills there. And they'd be boring down, you know, and making Newtown, Crigorn, and he'd have a cloth around his mouth, you know.
Oh, for the
And we'd
dust,
take over
yeah.
a little billy can of tea and a sandwich plate,
Wow.
and we'd be watching them drilling this.
Yeah.
They'd be going 20 and 30 feet. Johnny Britton was the man who said about the jelly night there.
Okay.
He'd blast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when he'd blast, our house would shake. We were right outside it, like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was lovely there. It was lovely and quiet there, you know. McCabe's was, he owns all the land there. Willie and Henny McCabe, they were married in too. And O'Brien's in, Tim O'Brien, he was in the lodge. Going in.
Oh, right,
Going in.
yeah.
He's Cooper Hill now to bring the monsters that time.
That's right, that's right, that's right. And just fishing now, so what about reed cutting, Michael?
Oh, that was very popular.
Tell me something about that.
Yeah, that was reed cutting was very popular. And they had the sallies as well, they cut the sallies as well, the side of the metal bridge.
Yeah,
And they'd come from Coona cutting,
yeah.
and they come from town in there to the ferry bridge, and they'd come down to Newtown Boatbed. They're still cutting in Newtown Boatbed, and they're still cutting in Mungret, yeah. The local people in Newtown, they still cut there.
Okay.
And what are they using the reeds for?
For thatching,
Just
and we
thatching,
have
is
we
it?
have a local thatcher there, Roberts.
Okay.
He's actually thatching a house now. If you went down to Carrick, you know where Carrick is? Well, there's a thatched house there, and that was the main road up to Newtown. Up the back of Starry Hackett's, and he's thatching there now at the minute.
Okay.
He's brilliant thatcher. He's very talented.
Yeah. It's some skill, isn't
Which
it?
is a great skill. Did you see the one there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just that,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
And where are those reeds from
Yeah,
around here?
and they're bringing reed as well from Poland, and they're bringing thatchers from Poland.
Really?
Yeah,
It's unusual.
yeah, it is unusual. The hurlers outside now is done by Polish men,
Okay.
and it's a different culture and a different status the way I feel like.
And how do you go about cutting reeds? I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, well, you just have your bit hook and you cut it, but there was people in Cockmore there, in Costello's, and they used to cut it with a machine, a little, like a rotavator, like a sickle mold batten it.
Okay.
And to cut it 2 4 watt. And to cut you didn't have to bend down on it, only just to make shaves of it. Shaves to cut you on your big bundle of reed like that in your hand. And then,
Okay. And like, supposing you went in now to cut reed, like what would you do? Would you kind of try and grab the
a
reed?
fist
like
of it, you
a
can
fist?
fist it, yeah, and
Okay.
cut it like that.
Okay.
But the machine was the way forward to the race. It was labour, it saved a lot of
Sure.
labour.
Yeah.
And the sallies in there cut it inside there.
Where did they get the sallies?
Now the Sally bit at Cork and Reed, we call it. The metal bridge.
Yes, I do.
That bridge down that's dividing Limerick from Mungers.
Yeah.
It's cut along there.
Okay.
They cut hazel as well.
Really?
Yeah.
What's hazel?
Hazel is another timber that you use.
Okay.
Yeah.
The baskets and things, would it be, what would they use the sallies
Yeah,
for
the
baskets?
baskets as well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, supposing, did you cut reed yourself?
No,
Michael?
I saw them.
Yeah, some do.
Yeah,
But
but
say the people you were looking at now cutting the reed, would all of that have gone for local thatching?
Oh, it would, yeah.
Would it?
Would, yeah. But they'll get private buyers into, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And say with the sallies and the hazel, where would that go when they'd have it cut?
Or they'd season that and they'd use that in. They'd use that in for thatching, like.
Oh yes, for scallops or
That's right,
scallops
yeah,
or whatever.
scallops, yeah.
Scallops, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. For kind of like hairpins to
That's
keep
right,
attach
yeah.
in.
Right,
You know.
not no, no,
Yeah.
didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
You're too young.
And was this exported then or anything, or is it just for local use?
Well, look, but then export it too. That you'll have buyers go and take it abroad too. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And where would they sell it? Like, Michael? Would the buyers come to them, or would they have to bring it somewhere?
All the buyers will come to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And like, would there be certain families would reed cut more than
Oh,
others?
those, yes.
Who
It'd be the family.
would they be like around this?
Well, you'd have Kellys in old town now.
Yeah.
You'd have Burtonses and you'd have all them, the Dorans was there.
The Jones.
And you'd have the ferry bridge, you'd have Costellers were big cutters back at and they were exporting as well.
Okay.
In Cork come over.
Okay.
They were fishermen as well, the Costellers. And Burks, you know, the ferry bridge. They lived on the side of the river there.
Right. And bring me back to the Jordans a minute. Well, did you say they lived in the Barrack Road?
They did last house on the right in the Ballock Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, Michael, how's fishing now? I mean, is it dead or?
Well, the lake now, you have great fishing in the lake now behind in Curra Chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's great beach lock, they call it,
Yeah.
Curra Chase. But there's great fishing there on trout and eels and that, like, you know.
Okay.
But it's fresh water. But it's gone very popular and they're very busy there. Yeah, all the local lads
Okay.
fish there now, like.
And does any fishing go on down Newtown anymore?
No,
Nothing.
no.
Okay.
They're all bought off the water, like.
And
They bought the license, you see. Well, there were two people I believe didn't sell the license, like.
who were those two, Michael?
I'd say Peter Burns would be one.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Hartigan would say be another.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
No, go ahead, Ruth. Sorry. Yeah.
So are they the only two that can fish down there now? Or
Oh no, no one's allowed fish.
no one's allowed, and that's
No,
because
that's
of the
to build up
licenses,
the-
or?
No, build up the stocks.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll say back even to Ireland there's no fishing. But Glen, now we'll say the rodfish only off the pier. You know, back there in Glen.
And when did they put an end to the fishing?
That's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, to build up the stocks.
Okay.
But they didn't buy them yet on Kerry afterwards.
Right. So, like, when you say a few years ago now, are you talking 20 years or?
I know.
Yeah.
No, less.
Less, half that, 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't a clue. Like, I wouldn't know one end of a fish from another, really. But what do you think was happening with the stocks? Was it they were overfishing, or was there some-
Overfishing, you see your boats coming in from England as well, trawlers and that. And they were dipping into our stocks as well, you know. so.
Right. Yeah.
Is this in more recent times that was
Yes,
happening? So,
yes.
yeah, okay.
And the stocks were going low,
Okay.
you know.
And what about licenses, Michael? Did you need a fishing license?
Oh, you have to have a
then?
license, yeah, and your number on the boat. The bailiffs will come to you.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be on the water with you, the bailiffs.
Okay, so everybody has their own number on,
That's right,
on their boat,
yes.
and does that match your license number
That's
then?
right, yes.
Okay,
And
and
you see, you have to be on the water at a certain time and be after a certain time and no weekends.
what were those times, Michael?
Well, you would say you'd be in the water Monday morning at 6 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yeah. And you'd be off within, we'll say, Friday night. So 11, 12 o'clock and we'd fish up, depending on the tides. We'd be working with the tides.
Okay. And were these certain months? Is this?
Yeah, there's certain months of the year you'll be fishing, you see.
And what were those?
Well, it would vary, like, you know, June, July, August, we'll say, like, you know.
Are they your peak?
And the peak with the run of the salmon, you know. and the run of the trout.
Did you fish on the water yourself, Michael?
Oh yeah,
You did?
and off the boat. Like,
Tell, what was it like?
It was lovely.
Go on.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was tough going, like, pulling a boat. But it was, a great banter down a great track. You'd meet, you'd put in for a cup of tea or a flask of tea, and you'd have a chat with everybody to wait for your turn to go out. But there'd be great crack in it, like,
And what do you mean waiting for your turn to go out?
You see, there could be 6 or 7 boats all waiting up. And that man, when his second pole, we call it, would hit the water, you had to turn in then, like, that was his net out fully. And then he turned in. You couldn't drift, you see.
Okay.
There was one crowd on the water, there were drift fishermen, and the other one was shore fishermen.
Right.
And the shore fishermen, you walked the mud, you see, you walked along the brow of the river. So when your second pole hit, you had to come in. So the other man was ready to go out.
Okay.
So the water was kept busy, like.
So when you say when your second pole hit, you mean when the pole kind of went
Came off
down?
the board. Yeah, came off
Yes,
the board.
I get you. I'm with you.
You just made a circle,
Get you.
yeah,
I follow you.
and you turned in.
Okay. And yeah, so there was kind of a set of inbuilt rules.
All it was built in, you had to understand him, like,
Yeah.
You couldn't go outside that area, like.
Okay.
And you had to respect the landowners in as well, like, to close your gates and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was interesting, like, it was lovely.
And was there 3 of you working together on the boat?
Yeah,
Is
there
that
could be
what you
2
were
or
saying?
3, there could be 2 on the boat, you see, and one on the, walking on the brow of the river.
And you could pick who you went with, or was it just a little?
I know,
group
you
of
have to go, the one man at hire, you see.
Yeah.
They had their own crew, so, like George Skillett now was an old fisherman there. He had his own crew with him, like,
Right.
Frank Doran was another one back here, he had his own crew. Frank could make a boat as well, repair a boat, he was very talented. But you had all them people, like, they repair all their own. Aidan O'Brien, he was a fisherman as well. And now we say Jimmy Gavin, he was a fisherman, his wife used to take the fish into town.
Right.
So the lads, like, they were very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no big fridges until that time, you'd have to get rid of them, like,
Sure, yeah. And say when they take him into town now, Michael, where would they
Into
actually
Rennie
go?
Cusicks.
Oh, to
Yeah.
Cusicks.
But the Corkman used to come and buy him then after that.
Oh, okay.
He'd weigh him with his weighing scale,
Okay.
Yeah, but I used to go down to a place now in Ballyduff, and there was a little stone house that had, and they'd lay the fish on their backs inside the stone house. It was an old tradition, and it kept them fine and fresh.
Like preserved, is it?
And preserved, like, and they'd say that for the day they would be out to eat.
And did they put anything on them? Like
No.
nothing. Just
No.
left the fish as it was.
Just, the cold
Right.
stone
Yeah,
would
get you.
keep them intact.
How long would it keep them for?
A day.
Just a day.
Boys had become that evening then for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And would you catch many fish
Oh God, yeah.
every day?
Oh God, yeah, 20 or 30.
Yeah.
They could get 50.
Right.
Yeah. There was a fella fishing there when there was a rod, and he saw the bailiff coming, he put a bidet onto the rod. You see, it was he had for his dinner. And the bailiff came over and he put up his line and he said, "You're okay." So then the bailiff bring in his car, his boat, like his car to have a cigarette or whatever. And he walked along the bank and he saw 2 salmon outside the fisherman. And he said, "You catch them with the bidet?" "I caught you with the bidet," he said. "I caught you with the bait," he said.
Talk about bait. What bait would you be? Like, I know with the nets now it's different.
Yeah.
But say...
Eel.
Eel.
For eel or the worms, like,
Okay.
Yeah. They have all different baits, all different, for different fish.
And was there different ways of catching the fish, bar the rod, and what
You'd
you were
have
saying with the
purse
boat?
nets, you have nets as well, like, And if now we allowed the fish in, he'd go back to the very end of the net. I have one more side there. And at the end he'd get trapped, he couldn't come out of it.
Okay. Kind of like a bag, like.
Like a bag, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, round bag.
And who made the nets, Michael? Where would you get the nets?
Oh, you bought the nets inside of a Rennie Cusicks. Nesters, you order them, like, you repair them yourself then. Yeah, they had their own goat and hemp.
Okay.
You repair them.
Oh, what were they made of? Goat or
Or hemp.
Hemp,
Hemp.
okay.
Hemp. But you repair them yourself then with a cotton glass.
And like what? I know it sounds a stupid question now, but what would you do to repair them? Was it sort of a bobbin or a needle?
A needle, yeah.
Okay.
You had your needle and you repair that.
Okay.
You stretched it out and you saw what was damaged. You put a piece into it and repair what was there.
And
that was very important.
would you have been shown how to do that by
Yeah,
someone?
you see the older people doing it. Like,
Okay, okay.
And you made your own ankle then as well, like, you know, the ankles were made. I often made them here for
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Of course, being a smith, you'd have the capacity
Yeah.
to do it, wouldn't
A
you?
bit of 5/8 round with flat ends, you know, and you have a T-piece across it in an eye for the row. So that when you throw that out, no matter what way it landed, the spike would catch.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they really want it.
And how big would the anchor be?
Could be 18 inches
Okay.
plus,
Yeah.
out like, and 3/4 round barrel.
Okay.
Pint
Gotcha.
in the like, round.
Can I ask you something else there? I think you guys from the city come down fishing this far as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Who are any memories of that? Like who?
Yeah, we know them coming out, we know the lads coming down, the city lads. Yeah, they fished as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't just fish, we'll say for small fish, there wouldn't be salmon fishermen, fresh fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flounders and fluke and trout, eels.
Yeah.
That would have
And
their
did
own.
you compete, Michael?
Oh no, no,
No.
they come down. They'd be avid fishermen, they'd come down. Like,
Right.
but they know the water
Sure.
quite well as well. Like, you know.
And
And
you
you
could-
see them in Ring Island as well, they'd be fishing there off the pier in Ring Island. Yeah. They'd come there from Pallaskenry, they'd come there from Skaten. And the Hanish was another place they used to fish there. Yeah, there was a river there going into Hanish, there was
Right.
a shop there, and you would see them fishing there.
There's loads of spots along.
Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah.
Ring Island was back in Skaten, all the way back. Glint was another place, like, very popular there, Tarbert.
Okay.
And the Cashin River then was another.
And could you go up as far as you wanted?
Oh, you could.
You could. There was no boundaries where
Oh,
you.
well, we'd go for Ring Island now. I remember going back with Frank Keane and John Lyons. And Frank Keane knew the area. And he said, well, he showed me where to go on Ring Island. And sandy nature there. Like. So you go to Ballydool Point. And that was your lot in, like, you couldn't, you'd have to lift your anchor in and come on here to Newtown in, like, you
Okay.
know. And Frank Keane was an experienced fisherman. He was in a one man, like, you know. He showed you everything, he was very good at everything. And he showed you the danger points in where you're need to get caught in the rock, you know. And you just no, you couldn't fish that area. You were told where to fish, where not to fish. Dangerous areas, like, you know.
And like Michael, you know, if you're out on the Shannon, say, how did you kind of get your bearings? You know.
You see, you took a map,
Okay.
and you worked off that map then, and that was handed down with certain father to son. Yeah, the dangerous areas that you couldn't fish in, like, you know.
So say when that old man was telling you where to go,
Yes.
what would he, I know it's stupid now again, but what would he say to you? Would he say, keep your eye on
Yeah,
that?
they had line up with this. You line up this. You say, you line up the cement factory, you see. You line up somebody else with that, and you line something up over in Kuna. So
Okay.
when the three line up, safe to throw your net in. That's the way they worked it.
Getcha.
It was a rules was handed out from father to son.
Yeah.
Is it gone? Or is there some of it left, you think?
I'd say it's gone, you know. The interest wouldn't be the same as what was there before, you know. You wouldn't have that. And a lot of the boats are gone in as well, you know. And the boat repairmen are dying off as well, like, you know. But piece of them would be, you know, Frank Dorn, we have been another great lad, like, you know.
And what made a good boat, like from your memory, what would make a good boat now for?
I would just see the boat builder was the man, like, you know, he was the, because you could get a man that wouldn't be a good great boat builder, and your boat wouldn't be straight underwater, it's slightly tilted, like, you know. Yeah.
And could you all swim, Michael?
No, lots of people never swam. Lots of the fishermen couldn't swim.
Right.
And there was no such thing as life jackets right in that time, like, you know.
And do you remember any accidents? Or
Oh, there was several accidents.
Yeah.
The fellas gone down there late at night with a few drinks of them. We great tracks onto them. Yeah, football team made for the ties. So we have a great track. Yeah, all the lads, Tommy Cliff now was saying, Norman and all the lads, we'd be all down there for the game of football.
Okay.
That's just great, like.
Not all work.
Not all of it. No. And it was, I remember one day we were fishing for a man and he was very strict. And we got 2 fish and we took the bottom out of the bag. We have a bag to bring home your fish. So we had the bottom taken out of the bag and we started bringing all the fish in. We threw in 9. 9 fell out the bottom. So he'd have with a big bag of fish, you know.
Yeah.
He was watching us. So there's only two. Just 10 out here.
Oh God.
So we did that.
Were there characters?
All kinds of great crack down there.
Yeah.
Oh, they were mighty. And there was women fished as well with their husbands, see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, they did, yeah. They were great. Fantastic.
Who now would you remember?
Mrs. Burton, you know, at Ferrybridge, Kit, she was called. Yeah, she was being the boat. Yeah, there was a woman in Newtown. She was being the boat as well. There were several help out, like, you know. They were great.
Yeah.
And they were great at, the farmers in were great at have the gates open and that, you know, to let you in there. You know. They'd have the right away in with the fishermen would, like, you know. They'd say that you can't block a fisherman's walk, like, you know.
Right.
You want to keep it open. Because when I worked in the OPW now, we'd be going into places and you'd have to have a license or a permit. But they tell you that, like, the OPW were the same. And a lot of them would be awkward now. We'd only be going in checking the bridges and that. Actually, we did a little bridge over here, it is built over 100 years. And I was feeding a few birds there lately. We were pheasant over there. And I saw this part of the bridge broken off just outside the door there. I took a photograph and I took it over to the OPW. And they came back and they had an awful job to part it. There was no cement that time, only bull's blood and mortar. So like,
Bull's
people
blood?
said, bull's blood and mortar.
Mortar, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, some of this strong. And they painted him stones on. And they redone it on the door, which is lovely. And actually, the day that I took the photograph, I thought it was a hawk. It was right over, well, my little bird is my little pheasant over that. She knows me enough for going over and back, she doesn't get it down. But it's like all the old wildlife I've done, I used to shoot them on the brain. I don't
know.
shoot them now, like I can take them now. But it was a drone. So I said to him, was he working for the OPW? He said no. So I said, are you working for DSB? He said no. And he had his little device in his hand, phone, when he was speaking to us. So he came all the way on, right here over the castle again. But he took it down then. And there's one in Newtown who goes down Newtown.
So he was just a private individual,
yeah,
was he?
very popular.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter was telling me the other day where she lives. There's a drone coming over the back of her house.
Away.
A small little one.
Yeah.
But they're terribly popular.
They are, yeah. And there's far and against, isn't there?
God, there is.
Yeah.
Well, there was a fisherman there lately, it was his doctor, and his daughter sent him out a present onto the boat, and they were outside the Atlantic, and he dropped into the boat. It was lying on the ground, and there was another one, they were watching it, and brought in all the captain's whistle, like the master, and brought all the sheep in.
God.
They're going over there.
If only they could fish as well.
Yeah, it's marvellous, like, isn't it?
Amazing.
Licenses for them.
But you have no privacy.
No.
But that's the thing, isn't it?
You know, unfortunately.
Can I just bring you back for a second? Do you remember you were saying they'd be coming over from Kuna fishing as well?
That's right, yes.
Would you all be kind of in the same area of the river, or would you kind of tend to take different sides?
Different sections.
Okay.
Yeah, different sections.
Yeah.
They're all have and the Cool Club would have their own sections, like, you know. And Johnny Green's Island was an island there, or they fish over there.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a little island there, and they go across that island. Yeah.
And Michael, let's go back to the gandulas for a minute. Would all the gandulas be the same make, or would there be
the big deeper ones? Well, where my father came from now, Ballydool, there was fishermen there, and they take across the sheep and that off to the honk in Shannon. There were farmers, brother-in-laws, like, you know, and they bring the cattle that's fencing them and put them in the 4 legs of the time. So they're used for transportation as well. And bringing food and that sort of as well. Over. So when the fishing season was open, the boats were just laid up like that.
Getcha. There were multiple uses.
Yeah.
Can I bring Ruth? I was just going to say, if Michael, we probably wouldn't get to the Sailor's Haggard today, but would you be willing to take us down?
Shall I take it? I'll run you down. It's only 2 minutes from now.
All right, that'd be brilliant.
I'm totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a camera, you can take photos.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
And before we go, because it'll be harder to record down there, tell us a bit about the Sailor's Haggard, just before we go to see
it. It was in Peter Burns owned the land there, that fisherman, and the 2 roads meet there, coming from Newtown Hill, and got this bit of land, and all the local labour, local tradesmen, they all got together and they done steel work and they done carpentry and metal work and fantastic.
Yeah.
So they built it into a memorial shrine,
Lovely, yeah.
and they're building a little house next to it now, so you'd better go in there and
Great.
have a game of cards or read the paper.
That's nice.
Very
Yeah.
And it's going to be done in local touch.
Okay.
All local tradesmen, they all helped out.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So it was fantastic, like, you know.
That's brilliant.
There's great credit due to them, like, you know.
You're
Praise
fantastic.
the
Yeah.
Lord.
And who did you say got the idea first? Or do you
All
know?
we'll say Liam Coughlin, Peter Burns, all them,
Okay,
Jimmy Gaines, all the local people.
fantastic.
And actually, we were sitting there, the opening was, and Mrs. Burns, she died since, was her birthday. They were married 66 years, I think.
Well,
And a local girl, she made a beautiful cake, fabulous cake, it was like slate.
Yeah.
And cutting of the cake, I was with the priest. And I made a little thing from as well, north, south, east, or west. And this bird. And Cameron, he comes there every day over the house to the river for fresh food.
oh, yeah.
So a big white span of a bird.
Yeah.
But, they took a photograph overhead
Yeah.
of the event.
Yeah.
Very good.
And they went down and developed it and gave it to this man. He was going back to England. So there's your photograph.
That's
I thought it
lovely.
was fantastic.
That's smashing.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That's
But they all helped out, lovely food and everything.
wonderful.
You've a real
Father.
community, isn't there?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, that's
But
brilliant.
the women there, know, the food was fantastic
Yeah,
on the
of
day.
course,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
Fantastic.
And they had the kids there.
Yeah.
So it was lovely.
Brilliant.
Oh, I think it only.
Okay,
Thank you,
brilliant.
Michael.
And thank you very
No problem.
much.
For that.
And I'll turn these fellas off at the moment.
Oh,
We might be able to resume later, but thanks a million.
that was a thing I got there from.
That's grand.